Hello and welcome to Godfather Minute. It's the podcast where we go through the entire Godfather movie one minute at a time. My name is Alex Robinson.
My name is Andy Robinson.
And together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers.
Did you say minute?
I said my nude brothers.
Oh. Whoa, wait. I ain't into that. Give me the butter. Hey, before we start, for our listeners, Alex and I had a pretty intense conversation about the future, climate change, politics.
We'll be living in tents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I made a commitment to myself since that conversation. I'm going to, for this episode, I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
We're gonna just go
finally.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make more jokes, more impressions.
Yeah,
are you okay with that?
Sure.
What's the matter with you?
Right, Pop. So we're talking about minute 68 right now.
That's right.
68.
Do you want to take a guess how to say that in Italian, Alex?
Minuto numero sensei.
No, that's Japanese.
Oh. 60.
Yes.
68.
This one is challenged. I really should have given you tossed you a softball. It's harder. 60.
60 minuto.
It's not even 60. It's when it comes to 8, it gets it's like a diphthong. It gets combined. That's a language term, Alex. Mm-hmm. It's 68.
68.
68.
68.
That's it.
68. 68.
Hey, did you look up the Sicilian tongue twister since our last minute?
That's what they used to call me in college, the Sicilian tongue twister.
That does sound like a nickname.
It does,
or not a nickname, but a thing, an action, like a Colombian necktie.
Oh, a Sicilian
rusty trombone.
We gave him a Sicilian tongue twister.
Yeah.
You grab the guy by the tongue and like twist it. That's a good.
I feel like they would do that to Waltz when they didn't give Johnny that picture.
Oh,
like
he was gonna make him a big star. It's like Luca Brasi now. Well, anyway, let's just summarize minute 68 right here. Mm-hmm. It starts off with Mikey. He leaves the hospital where his father is recuperating to go wait on the steps with Enzo, the baker. He tells Enzo to pretend he has a gun, and then a mysterious car pulls up, looking very ominous at the two young Italians. Yeah, this is where we get that classic. Dun, dun, dun,
yeah.
Is there a term? You're a musician. Is there a term for that kind of music?
Good question. I mean, rhythmically, it's just a steady quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 with some strings added to scare you.
A little pitchy.
Here comes McCluskey. He's gonna stand you up and knock you down. Your jaw's gonna swell. You're gonna have to run to Sicily.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I could have kept going. Don't stop me now. So there isn't a term for that. There is a term for when the pitch changes. That's a modulation.
Modulation.
That doesn't happen in this background music.
Okay.
I started doing that.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it almost sort of turned into like a Jaws type thing.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Or more like A Day in the Life. With the
Yeah. Say we're getting far off the field, but
Yes.
Did you know Weird Al Yankovic is doing another tour with a full orchestra?
Really?
Yeah.
Is he playing all his stuff or just his originals?
It's not been season said.
Awesome.
So anyway, definitely want to check that out. But we're here to talk about minute 68 of The Godfather. Mm-hmm. Here's a little continuity error for you OCD nerds out there. Mm-hmm. In the scene before, we saw Enzo, his flowers he was carrying were pink carnations. Mm-hmm. And when we see them here, right before Michael throws them away, they are orange carnations.
It's funny you should say that, because before you revealed what the continuity error was, I was going to guess, what, did you have different flowers? Yeah. It really was.
Yeah, there you go. Because this scene on the steps was filmed entirely, apparently Al Pacino hurt his foot at some point during making of the movie, so they couldn't film the scene outside the real Bellevue Hospital where they filmed the other exteriors, and this is on a Hollywood set.
Oh, really?
So that's why they did not have the same flowers nearby, and so they used different ones. So
interesting.
It's funny to imagine now looking at it that it's a set, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And when I look at it now, knowing that, I'm like, oh, Al Pacino looks different. He looks older.
Oh, really?
Like,
You could
but
tell?
I mean, it's just because
He's got a big scar over his cheek.
say hello to my little baker friend. That was my Scarface.
I was gonna. What's a good pastry? What's a very common pastry?
Cannoli.
No, not cannoli. Something
Cannolo.
different. Cannolo. I was trying to do hoo-ah, but with a pastry.
Yeah, it should be longer, like a
cream puff. Cream puff.
that should be like cinnamon roll. Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
So one thing I think is kind of interesting in this scene is that Michael is already taking charge. We saw him bossing around the nurse before, and now here he is, like, he thinks people are coming to get to kill them, him and his father.
Yeah.
But he's very calm, and he's over, like, he's talking to Enzo, like telling him like how to get through the situation, like, look tough and everything. So
it is the first time, well, except for the nurse, bossing the nurse around. It's the first time that he's being cool in a stressful situation and giving commands.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in a way, it's almost like this is like the two Michaels. This is the lawful evil Michael coaching the neutral Michael as to how to get through this situation. You know what I mean? Almost like Did you ever see Fight Club?
Yeah. Great movie.
Okay. Well, we can't talk about it. But you know, that's the gimmick of the movie, is that it's like his own. The two characters are like they're just basically the same guy, just kind of like a reflection of that's why I kind of think of this scene as like him. That's the tough Michael, teaching the innocent Michael how to do things.
Yeah, he comes out immediately. He says, "Get rid of those." He throws those flowers.
Right.
I think that was Al Pacino recognizing the continuity error.
Oh, he's like,
quick! They're about to film. Get rid of those.
We're about to film. Did they see it? Did they notice it? Hoo-ah.
Daisies. I love a big fat daisy.
Croissants.
Get me the butter.
Now I'm getting hungry now. All these references.
Oh, and then he also pushes his collar up.
Yes.
Were you going to talk about that?
For his collar. No, I wasn't going to say anything about his collar.
Just interesting. I guess that was the style of the gangsters, to wear the collars up to sort of mask their identities. That was the only thing I could guess.
People putting their collars up has always been like a... You think about like Fonzie. That's what he does.
Hey. Watch it. Go sit on it. Was that his?
Sit on it.
Sit on it.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't just his. That was the whole. That was the whole gang. So. Do you think the Fonz is supposed to be Italian, right?
I never thought about it.
Last name was Fonzarelli.
Yeah, Fonzarelli. Yeah.
So anyway,
and Al, who was the diner owner? Is that Al?
Oh, originally it was Arnold.
Okay.
And then then Al took over.
Al, right?
Once
different actors, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Arnold
know.
was Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wasn't Italian.
Yeah. Half Italian.
It was funny. You should happen to say sensei at the beginning of this minute.
Oh my God, that's weird.
Came right back to Pat Morita.
Yeah, I must have thinking about Japan for some reason.
So you think putting a collar up is sort of the international sign of hoodlum?
Not necessarily, because I know in the 80s it was a preppy thing to do.
Yeah,
You remember that? It was like, but
well, the preps were trying to own that cool move.
take back the cool.
And then if you notice, all the gangsters in the 80s put their collars down or cut them off.
Oh, was because all the suburban kids had started doing it.
Yeah,
so they started.
You got to evolve. You can't.
I don't want to look like I'm some J. Crew wearing preppy guy
with a switchblade.
Yeah,
I think it has more to do with masking their identities.
Yeah, that's probably.
And it was
true
also
too.
cold.
Yeah,
Puto writes in the book
Christmas.
that it was a very cold December evening.
Do you think if the Don was awake, would he have been disappointed?
What do you mean if he's awake? He's crying like a little
Oh, that's
baby
true.
up there.
All right, so
little baby doesn't get his Sanka? Little baby want his Sanka bottle?
shut up.
Shut up.
He's handing him the orange baby bottle with the second.
That'd be so funny to have a taunted, defensive, don't call him. Oh, shut up, don't say that about me.
You
Come
like
on.
Sanka. Would he have been disappointed that only Enzo showed up and that Nazarene himself did not come? He sends along his little Sicilian messenger boy.
And a Sicilian messenger baker. Well, I'm guessing other people were there earlier to visit. This is kind of late at night. My guess is Enzo got off late because he's
Baking.
Yeah, because Nazarene has him slaving over those ovens.
Right, yeah. Yeah, although I imagine a baker, your busy hours are in the early morning.
Yeah, that's true.
And not late at night.
Maybe he was on his way to work and he stopped there. He's like, oh, I'm going to go make the buns. I'm going to make the buns. I will stop at Don Corleone to pay my respects. To pay my respects.
My respect.
For his father.
And also, he should have brought a assortment with him. He's a baker, for crying out loud. You don't bring a box. What, it would kill you to bring a box of
Canolos. But he was on his way to work. So he's like, what, are you going to bring him stale bread from 18 hours ago?
Okay, yeah, you're right. If he's on his way to work, he was just stopping by to pay his respects, kill the Don, and then go back to the bakery.
That'd be great. The backstory was Enzo was actually working for Salazzo
the whole time.
The whole time. He actually went to poison his IV bag, or in the flowers was a gun or a knife.
So when he said this,
chickened out.
So he said there's a lot of money in that white powder. He meant like flour. He meant like powdered sugar.
Well, the Enzo is pretty good with a knife too. You know, cutting all those buns and dough.
Oh, I thought you were cutting those flowers. He's a baker. Flowers brings flour.
Oh, the symbolism. It's rich. It's rich. Oh, I get it. The Don becomes all paranoid. Oh, you send a baker. He's going to start cutting me with the flour. He's bringing flowers. He's going to choke me with flour.
You mean flowers like the flowers or flour like the white powder?
I don't know what I mean. I don't know.
You were just riffing.
It didn't make much sense.
It just occurred to me that if they have orange carnations, and orange is of course always the sign of flowers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the color of Sanka, the official drink.
It occurred to me. That's why he used the oranges and stuff. He's promoting the Sanka.
That's why
he turns to the camera and he has the orange peel in his mouth, and it says Sanka. Drink Sanka.
Well, that's also why Mikey Corleone grabs him and throws him. Get out of here. Pop's not allowed to drink any Sanka while he's in the hospital. They won't let him drink it.
And the truck's delivered by your father.
Let's see. So you pointed out that the ominous car pulls up, right? In the book, Puzo writes that the people in the car recognized that it was one of the two guys was Michael Corleone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I was surprised because I think I had always interpreted that scene as them both trying to appear like tough gangsters. Yeah. And everyone knew that Mikey was a civilian.
Yeah.
But Puzo wrote that, they recognized him.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So who is supposed to be in the car at this point? In that car? Do we see who's in it?
You know what? They don't say. It says, let's see. Let me read a little bit from the book.
Because when they show up, the Turk isn't with them. It's McCluskey.
Yeah, it kind of... Oh, in this car?
Yeah.
In this scene?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know because it pulls away. We don't know who was in that car.
So you couldn't recognize who the person was. It wasn't like McCluskey or...
No, it didn't look like McCluskey. It sort of looked like Salazzo a little bit. But I wouldn't think that Salazzo himself would go to the hospital.
Maybe he was just going to pay his respects.
That's true, yeah. Maybe he's just bringing some...
My sick mother is also in the hospital. Sounds like Joe Montana. I'm going to visit my sick mother.
Puzo writes, they had almost finished their cigarettes when a long, low black car turned into 30th Street from 9th Avenue and cruised toward them, very close to the curb.
Whoa.
It almost stopped. Michael peered to see their faces inside, his body flinching involuntarily. The car seemed about to stop, then speeded forward. somebody had recognized him. Michael gave Enzo another cigarette and noticed that the baker's hands were shaken. The baker was shaken.
Shaken baker.
Shaken baker. Hey, don't quit shaking the baker. Hey, could you guys give me a minute with this nurse? We need to shake the baker. To his surprise, his own
give
hand,
a Sicilian tongue twister.
To his surprise, his own hands were steady, which we see in the movie.
I guess we
too,
see that in the next scene.
Yeah,
I think it would be interesting to adapt a book into a movie.
yeah.
Like
Making
go through it.
what do you
and-
choose to keep?
Yeah,
what do you modify?
Yeah.
What do you cut out? You got to cut out a lot.
You do have to cut out a
Yeah.
lot.
Especially if you're working with one of Puzo's books.
Oh, talk about giant vaginas. Sheesh.
I'm at that part in the novel, by the way.
You're reading ahead?
I am reading ahead. Yeah. Well,
okay.
there's some information. Not all
That's
of
true.
it's in
Yeah.
order too, but there's some information.
Yeah.
In there. I just read through the part where Don Corleone has the meeting with the heads of all the families.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a great section. Actually, I'm going to encourage you to read it too, because there's so much awesome information in there.
Definitely, yeah.
It's great.
I read the book years ago, but I don't remember the details of it.
Yeah. You have anything else for this?
No, that's all I got for 68.
I have a couple personal questions for you.
Personal questions.
Alex, have you ever stood guard for someone?
Not like seriously.
Yeah. More like, hey, we're trying to surprise someone. Don't let them see that you're doing this.
No, I was thinking more in terms of like if you're playing like one of those games where like TV, not tag, one of those tag games where you have to keep people in a jail. When you tag people and you have to bring them back to the that game where you'd run in there and you'd free everyone by tagging them and stuff.
Is that tag?
It had it wasn't just regular tag; it was some other tag.
Boy.
Anyway, something like I've never seriously guarded. I can't imagine I'm very intimidating to people.
Well, maybe not to intimidate, but just to be a lookout, which I know wasn't this situation.
Well, have you?
I was thinking back. I don't recall.
Have you ever committed a crime?
Oh, gosh. Well, nothing I want to record for the IRS to hear.
Oh, so it was a tax crime.
I didn't say that. I have no knowledge of that. Actually, if I even acknowledge you asked me that question in a court that could prove I had knowledge of my crimes.
Oh, you'd have to go before the judge and show cause. Woo! What do you rank this minute?
I got one more question for
rate
you
it,
before
not
we
rank.
before we go to the rankings and the ratings. If you were Enzo, would you have stayed? In other words, was it a good move?
Yes.
Why?
Because it gets you in good with the Godfather.
Was it worth the risk, though? I mean, in hindsight, yes. Because he becomes the head pastry chef in Las Vegas at one of the hotels.
Right. Yeah, and who knows what other favors he.
I mean, he's risking his citizenship, though.
That's
could have
true,
been
but
deported.
if you, I feel like it would have been worse if you just said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going home. Bye," and then left. 'Cause then you'd be like, he's going to lose his citizenship anyway.
That's
'cause
true,
'cause
yeah.
he's the one who got him the.
I get to go get the buns out of the oven for your father. For your father, I'll be back tomorrow.
I mean, he could lose a lot more than his citizenship doing that. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of, and he's old school from Sicily, so he knows, even when the crime boss tells you to stay, you stay.
I wonder if he put in paperwork to have those flowers to get reimbursement for those flowers.
So I'll give him a receipt for the flowers,
So let's rate it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
This one feels like a 2 to me.
Michael walks through.
It is a little bit of a, I guess there's a little bit of tension building up.
Yeah. Michael walks through the hospital.
Yeah. We've been seeing him
Goes
do
down,
that for
throws the
a month now.
flowers, calms Enzo down, puts his collar up. Yeah, I'm sticking with it too. I think you're right.
Yeah. It's,
You reminded me about the bonus content. I know we had the idea to do the Godfather quiz.
Uh-huh,
We did
sure.
it many episodes, maybe about 40 or 50 episodes, very early on.
It's funny when you first said that, I was like 40 or 50. Oh my God, we have done 68 episodes.
Yeah, we're almost finished.
Sheesh.
So we're we plan to do that. Get back to the Godfather quiz with a couple interesting spins to it. But you just inspired me. Maybe you were talking about kids games like tag.
Yeah.
Maybe in another bonus content, we talk about what games did they play as kids and who was good at them.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Or sports.
Yeah.
What sports did they play?
Yeah, that's a good. That's good.
But let's do the quiz for this bonus content.
So, all right. So, try the veal. It's the best in the city.